Welcome to this channel, and today I'm here to talk about my career, how I immigrated from Brazil to Canada. So before starting to say how was the process of immigration, I want to give you a background, a context about myself and my life. So first, I'm coming from Brazil. It's a small city where I come from. It used to be like 20k, 25k people, so everyone used to know each other. Everyone used to laugh about kids, and I was the kid that everyone was laughing about. I was really fat, and I had a lot of problems to talk with people, to be sociable. And because I was fat, people was calling me Buddha. And Buddha was the little fat guy, religious guy that I was really pissed off with that nickname. And I had a lot of troubles and traumas in my life because my childhood. So I was a kid that was going to the college, to the school, and instead of learning, I was like being the subject of bullying. And my childhood was really hard. And because that, I started to play video games. I started to stay home and, oh, look this world of video games. I can play. Nobody's laughing about me. Nobody's telling me, oh, you're a fat boy. So I started to enjoy that. Like, I was becoming good in something. I was creating my games. With 10 years old, I created a Tibia server. It's a game. It's an old game where people could access the server of mine. Like, I created it with 10 years old, and people of my city was joining. So imagine the size of this, like 20 years ago. And it was huge for me, and I didn't know that. So because this, I started to like computers. And I had a desire that, okay, when I grow up, I will work with computers. I will leave this city that everyone is laughing about me, and I will pursue my career. And since that days, I started to work and learn all what I have today and what brought me to Canada. So all that past contributed to me to be where I am today. And I would like to give the context, because some people think that, okay, he probably had an easy life, he probably was like in a rich family, that's why he's in Canada. But no, I had no money. I had problems with food, with exercises. I had like my mother and my father, they fought when I was baby, and I never saw my father until I was 10. So I really had a very hard life. And today when I look back, I see, okay, all that hard moments was helping me to become who I am today. If I had a really easy life, maybe I was not in Canada today. Maybe I wouldn't be here today. So, given the context, now let's talk about how I got a job in Canada. So, in 2010, I was like 18, 19 years old, and I started working as a tester, a software tester. What I was doing was taking machines of credit cards. That was something new in that time. And I was like really scared. I had a lot of traumas, as I said. And for me to have a machine and use a credit card and use the right numbers, it was like a nightmare. So that was my first job. I was hired to use credit cards in the machines and to see if I find something wrong. And I was doing that almost all my day, and then taking all the purchase that I did and transferring it to a spreadsheet. And I started there like a tester, and I liked, like, oh, this is a nice job, it's technology, it's giving me a nice money. It was not a big money, but for a start, for a beginning, was good. I could start paying my university, because in Brazil you have that. People in North America, they don't know this, but in Brazil, most of the people, they have to work and study at the same time. So I started working from 8 to 6 p.m., 8 in the morning to 6 p.m. And after that, I was going to the university, and I was paying for my university, so it was always like that. So we started at 8 a.m., finish at 6, go to university, start at 7 until 10:30, and then go home, sleep, and repeat. So I did that for a long period of my life. I didn't know English as well, and I started learning English after university. So I was arriving at home at like 11 because the traffic. And 11 to 11:30 I was studying English and then sleeping. And my English was not enough. Like I just had a small part of English. English is hard, it's not easy. You need years of experience, you need a lot of practice. So I decided, okay, I have to live abroad. I have to go to another country to learn English. So I decided that I want to live somewhere like States, but States was really expensive. So one day I talked to a teacher, and he said there is a country called Ireland, and maybe you can live there because it's more affordable. So I was like, oh, maybe. And then I went to a party, and in that party I spent like a lot of money in the weekend with my friends. But the problem is, before entering the party, we started drinking a lot before to save money, because inside the party is more expensive. So before the party, I got so drunk that I didn't remember anything. And I entered the party, and then I kind of almost lost my consciousness. And actually I lost, because my friends had to bring me to the nurse place, and I didn't enjoy the party at all. Like, I lost a lot of money on that weekend. And then the next day of the party, my friends said, hey, you were really in trouble, man. And I didn't believe them until I saw I had some straps and some marks in my body that was from falling on the ground. And I thought, okay, it was serious. And it was really like I lost a lot of money. So then I decided, and I thought, if I lost money like that in one weekend drinking, why don't I save the money? And if I save this money in one weekend, multiply for 4 weekends, I have much more money saved. So yes, maybe it's possible to live abroad. And Ireland, that was cheap, that was not expensive as United States, it started to become a dream that could be true. So because that weekend I thought, okay, I will save a lot of money now. And I was making a salary that was not big. It was like, okay, it's a good salary, but it's not big. It was like really 1,000 money from Brazil, like real. And that is not big. And I could save a lot. Of course, I was living with my father on that time. I didn't pay rent, but still, like, I was able to save to pay a trip to Ireland, live in Ireland for 1 year. And that helped me to get English. And learning English was really important for my career. So I lived in Ireland for 1 year. I had saved money for like 6 months, 3 months. I arrived in Ireland. First month was amazing. New country, new culture. Like learning how to live in another country was, with 20 years old, was really hard, but was really amazing at the same time. Like, oh, this is a different life. I can do party now because I saved all my money during 1 year, no party anymore. Now I can go and do a bit of party. So I enjoyed my life in Ireland for 3 months. And in my 3rd month, I received a call from my aunt in Brazil. And she said, hey, I don't know how to tell you, but your mother just had a heart attack and she died. And I was like, what? She's young. I am young. I am 21 years old. I just had my birthday party for 21 years old, and how can she die? And it was a shock for me. Like, I'm here because I want to make money. I want to give a better life for my mother. She is there in Brazil having a difficult life, and I'm here to give her a better future. How can my main goal of Ireland go away like that? So I was so young that I was totally lost. And after 1 year in Ireland, I decided, okay, now I have to go back and do something with my life. I have to do my career. Because in Ireland I was cleaning floor, I was cleaning bathroom. I was not able to work in tech. I didn't have experience. I didn't have knowledge. So people didn't want to pay for an immigrant that was in Ireland for the first time with almost no English, because my English was really not good. And so I decided, okay, I will go back to Brazil and I will build my career. I will build my life. So I returned, and I got a job in less than 1 month. And the job that I got was like paying double salary compared to the job I had in Brazil before. That's why English is so important. English opened doors. So because that, I started to invest in myself. It was easier to pay university. Also, I stopped the university for a bit and I started learning neuro-linguistic programming for 3 years. So I had a break of university because I didn't have money to pay both. And neuro-linguistic programming was the best thing ever, because it was like 3 years studying every week, going to the school of neuro-linguistic programming and studying like how the brain works, how communication works, studying subconscious mind, and how the kids grow and have traumas. Like my case, I had a lot of traumas. So neuro-linguistic programming helped me to remove all the garbage of my brain. Of course, I still have things to work. I have a lot to work, but that period of my life helped me to improve myself. And then I finished my formation of neuro-linguistic programming, and I returned to university. I finished university, and in this whole time, it was from 2013 to 2019, I learned programming, I learned test automation, I specialized myself in many topics of quality assurance, quality control, a lot of books I have read there, and certifications. So I really invested in myself. and in my career. And then I had a desire to go back to Europe. I wanted to live in Europe again, but as a tech worker, not as a cleaner, because I studied and worked hard for that. So one day I went to a conference in Brazil. It was in 2019. And in that conference, I was just there for speaking. I had like a speech to do about soft skills and about service virtualization. And in that day, I saw, oh, there is some people here recruiting from Europe and from Canada. And the European guys, they were there, and I was like, oh, I will talk to them. Let's see if they have a job in Europe for me. And I talked to them, and they said, oh, nice, your profile seems good. Let's talk next week. Let's have an interview to see if you have the profile we need. And I was like, okay, now I maybe I will get a job in Europe. I was not expecting to come in this conference and have a job. Like, I'm here just to speak. And then I saw Canadians there, and I thought, I don't want to go to Canada. Canada is not what I really want. So a friend of mine came and said, did you talk to the Canadian guys? And I said, no, man, I talked to the European, but I don't want to go to Canada, so I didn't talk to them. And then my friend said, okay, good luck in the Europe process. And a second friend came and said, hey, did you go to the Canadian guys and talk to them about jobs? And I said, no, man, I don't want to go to Canada. I want to go to Europe. And this friend said, why don't you go to the Canadians and ask them, do you have any job in Europe? And I thought, oh, this is smart. So I decided to go to the Canadians, and I started talking to them. And the Canadian said, hey, we have a job that needs JavaScript, protractor, and quality assurance knowledge and test automation. And I said, hey, this is what I know. This is what I do today. And they said, okay, so give me your profile, give me your curriculum. So I shared my profile to them. They opened on the laptop in the event, and they said, hey, I think you have the profile we need. So they shared the profile with the HR, and like in 2 hours, HR contacted me. I had an interview next day, and in 7 days I have like all the technical interviews, and in 10 days I received a job offer to immigrate to Canada. And I was like, what? I went to the conference to speak. I was not thinking about moving neither to Europe and much less to Canada. And now I have a chance to change completely my life. Like, okay, maybe Canada is the path to go. And I was always wondering, why me? Like, why did they find me? Like, it was like a lot of questions that I didn't know the answer on that time. And I was really disconnected from my path. But it seems that in that event, I entered in the path with the influence of others. Like people coming from outside saying, hey, go to Canada. Hey, go to Canada. Like the universe conspiring to help me to enter my path. And yes, I was able to hear my friends and talk to them and see that the universe had an opportunity for me that I was not aware, because I was so disconnected. And then I immigrated to Canada in 2019, and here I am today. Today is 2025. I became Canadian, so I'm Brazilian and Canadian. I speak English, French. My Spanish is not good anymore because French kind of mix when I try to speak Spanish, but I can understand Spanish really well, and of course I speak Portuguese. So because this immigration, I became someone that I never thought I would become. And in my path in Canada, I worked for Square Enix. Square Enix was the company responsible for creating Final Fantasy. That it was a game I used to play a lot when I was a kid. Imagine if I go back to my childhood and say to my childhood, hey, I'm from the future. I'm telling you, you are gonna work for Square Enix. Today I work for Unity Technologies, another big company. If I tell this for my inner child in that time, like, or for my kid back in time, I don't think I would believe. I would laugh about me. I would think, what is this? This is crazy. I'm Brazil. I'm in a small city. I cannot go where you are telling me I will be. And because all that, I kind of eliminated the imposter syndrome. I used to have a very big imposter syndrome, especially because people used to laugh about me. So I didn't believe in myself anymore. I was so not trusting myself that I wouldn't arrive in Canada if I didn't have that universe help. And that's why I want to create this channel, to help people to connect to the whole thing that is happening around us. Universe is always giving us the clue where to go. Like, universe is always telling us, always using people around us to tell us, hey, this is not working, stop doing this, stop trying, stop being frustrated, stop being no success in what you're trying. Try this, try something different. Universe is always telling us. That's why the channel is called DevYogi. Yogi is the one that practices yoga. Yoga doesn't mean the movements for old people or for the fitness people that does like acrobatics movements. No, that's not the real yoga. That is a part of yoga. That is called asanas. But yoga means to connect with the whole universe, the whole consciousness. And all the NLP studies are really similar to this. So the name DevYogi is because I consider myself someone that develops software and practices yoga. And I want to share my knowledge about this with you. I want you to eliminate imposter syndrome. I want you to trust yourself. And I want you to follow the path that you are meant to follow. And welcome to this channel. That was a bit of my story. And I hope this video helps you. And I will see you in the next one.